The truth about men. Oh yes. Welcome to CHENGI'S world. I am Chengi and you, my precious one, are my world. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And welcome, you are welcome to this incredible tribe. And do not forget to like if you like this video, leave a comment, and of course, hit that notification bell and do not forget to subscribe. Now we're in December, ladies, and I've always challenged myself in the 4 years I've been doing YouTube to make sure that I do the December thing and do a video every day. So let's see how we go. Sometimes I'm going to be on here live. Sometimes I'm going to bring back Soul Saturdays, but I think I'm going to call it Spirit Saturdays, or we'll talk about the spiritual element of our lives in general, or to do with relationships. So if you're one of my Christian babes or spiritual people who want to learn more spiritually, then you want to join me on a Saturday. But for the rest of the time, I might record in the car, go live, whatever, but I'm challenging myself to do a video for you every single day until Christmas, and who knows, maybe until the new year. So the truth about men. Oh yes. Okay. The thing is, ladies, we feel that men should be this way. One of the biggest challenges I have with my clients, with you ladies, sometimes even in the comments, I live in the comments, by the way. If I miss yours, please forgive me. There's so many to go through, but I try and make sure that every day I go through my comments. But one of the things that I find with us ladies is that we feel disappointed when men are being men. We really have to realize that men are different from women. They have a different set of priorities, a different set of values. And yes, because we're looking at it from a feminine position, we can easily believe that it is somehow deliberately them trying to hurt us. But they are wired differently. They are biologically different. And so the things that we appreciate in them, those are not things that come naturally. These are things that come with training. This is the difference between a high value man and a low value man. A low value man hasn't got training. He hasn't been homeschooled or home trained about how to behave and how to be a gentleman. He's still operating from his raw, unbridled, unaddressed desires. And so when a man is operating from that position, we feel like he's being a moron. Now that guy and the gentleman, high value guy, are not experiencing different reactions. What they're doing is managing those reactions differently. So some of these things I'm going to talk to you about, these are things that are common in all men. Now, the high value guy is not going to maybe do some of these other things, but he may do. So number one, men are horny as hell. Men are so sexually driven. It is in their nature to want to spread their seed. They're biologically wired to want to spread their seed. Therefore, they have an associated sex drive to go with it. Now, women, we catch up with them as we get older. But by and large, a man is coming across the room, walking across the room to talk to you because he wants to get laid. Now, what you need to understand is there isn't a man who is gonna talk to you and hasn't got sex on the brain. Okay, because I know some of us get upset, oh, he just wants sex. They all just want sex. Some want sex and something else, something deeper, more profound. But ultimately, if a man doesn't fancy shagging you, he's not gonna make the effort. So if he's a man and he's got balls, then he's gonna wanna shag you. Okay, so we need to accept this. This is the truth about men, not the lovely, polished, shiny version. I am telling you the truth about men. And that desire to be laid, that desire to have sex, translates sometimes in him being so desperate that he will tell you whatever you need to hear so that you will give him what he wants. A man is going to want to get the quickest form of information. He's going to want to exploit, manipulate, talk himself into your knickers for as little as possible, as quickly as possible. So he doesn't want to spend a whole fortune to get into your knickers unless he's looking for a wife, unless he's looking for somebody who will stay. Then he's prepared to blow his bank account to make sure that he gets what he wants. So a man, you must always bear in mind, will say whatever you need him to say so that he can get into your knickers. This is why I have developed the 50 questions every high value woman needs answered. This product is going to be coming out soon. So watch my Instagram and my Facebook if you don't follow me, and I'm going to put it in the stories on YouTube, and I'll probably do a video about it, because there are 50 questions that are covert. They're not in your face. They're not here's what you need to say, this is what you need to do. But they will give you an indication of really what is going on in his psychology. These questions are your toolkit for any woman that is dating and is high value. So yes, be aware that a man will say anything, and men are very intuitive. Intuition is actually the most powerful thing that a man has. They know the kind of woman who's sitting before them. They know what your priorities are, and they will pretty much promise you anything. So you have to be aware of that and be smart. Number 2, they will always test your virtue. If you're the kind of woman that's like, I don't sleep around, I've never really slept around, I don't, and you come across as somebody who is virtuous, he will test you. He will present you with multiple opportunities to compromise your virtue. Don't fall for it, okay? I've had women who are like, I don't want to have sex until I'm married. I've already made those mistakes. I just want to wait until I meet my husband. And then you go ahead and you tell him, and he's like, sure, no problem. Yeah, I respect that. I'm good. Do you want to go away on a weekend next week? Or I've booked a wonderful weekend away. Would you like to come with me? That's him testing your boundaries, testing your virtue, because men marry virtue, not vaginas. Now, he wants to make sure that nothing will break your resolve. Understand something. Men ask for sex that they know they're not yet entitled to. And too many of us give in to them thinking that we will be able to keep them. But we fail the virtue test. Men will test your words. If you say you're waiting till you're married, if you're saying you're waiting till you're in a committed, exclusive, monogamous relationship, they're going to test it. They're going to ask you to come into your house at the end of the date. They're going to make weekend plans somewhere really special. They're going to want to test your virtue. And it is up to you to protect your virtue, whatever that standard may be for you. They are visual. Yes, we would like men to fall in love with our minds and fall in love with our hearts, but that comes later. If a man is not drawn to you with his eyes, basically it's a no. That's why, of course, we need to spend special and take special attention to look after ourselves, present ourselves looking good, because men fall in love with their eyes and they choose with their eyes. You have to understand the power of visuals for a man. This doesn't change. It doesn't change because you got 6 kids and he's got to understand. It doesn't change. If he likes you to be a certain kind of way, and then you have kids and you let yourself go, he knows, of course, that he loves you. He knows, of course, you're his wife, his mom, his girlfriend, whatever. But don't think he still fancies you. No, like, he might still be able to have sex with you, but he is always perpetually being led by his eyes. So they are visual, whether we like it or not, whether you think what I've said is politically correct or not. I'm just here to give it to you straight, and that's what I'm gonna do. This is the truth about men. Okay, they enjoy a challenge. Men enjoy a challenge. A man wants a woman that he feels that he has to climb over mountains, swim over rivers, and conquer worlds to get. A man wants a challenge. He wants a woman that doesn't make it easy for him. Why? Because if you make it easy for him, then you've made it easy for the 100 other guys before him. He wants to feel like a man has to go to the ends of the earth to get your time and attention. Sometimes we think it's about getting into our knickers. He wants to make sure that even your time, even your attention is not spread about. So he wants that bit of a challenge. He wants you to be a challenge. I'm not talking about playing silly games. I'm talking about having standards that you actually keep. Not the standards that are compromised based on what he's promising and what he's saying, but standards that you actually keep. Having actual vetting processes and actually putting a man through a test and letting him know that this is where I stand, that is where you stand, and this is what you have to do to get to know me without coming across like a diva, okay? That is something that we can do in another video, or you can join me in my Facebook group, CHENGI'S Angels, or you can book me for consultation one-to-one, and we can work together to make you that femme fatale, darling, okay? So, number 4. Men are not emotionally advanced. They're not like we are. We are in our emotions. Femininity, feminine energy, women, we already have the part of our brains that manages our emotions is so much bigger than that of men. We're literally on a highway to in a Porsche on a dual carriageway, right? we're fast. We emotionally process a lot quicker. Men, not so much so. It takes a man quite a bit to engage with you emotionally. It takes him quite a bit to be prepared to engage you emotionally. And there isn't a woman as strong, there isn't a man as strong as a woman inside. That is that they're not so capable of managing emotions when they're overwhelmed by them. So they deal with emotions a little bit differently from us. And yes, we would love them to sit down and talk to us about it and tell us what they're feeling. But they're not going to do that. That is the truth about men. Maybe a man that is more comfortable with his femininity, feminine energy, he's more willing maybe to talk about what he feels, but mostly masculine men will find a way of working out those feelings by themselves, by probably doing work or separating themselves and doing something else. So they're just not good with emotions. Okay, they're not naturally monogamous. Okay, well, neither are women really, but we're more so than men. The men are quite comfortable having multiple partners. Now, when I say to my girls, you need to date other guys. You just met this guy. Yes, you like him. You have a connection. What other two guys are you dating? It's like, oh, I can't do that. I feel like I'm cheating. Yes, because naturally as women, we are built to choose and select a mate from an array. We select the mate and we become naturally monogamous and faithful to that mate. Okay. Now, men, not so much so. Men can sleep around with 20,000, with every woman in the village and not actually emotionally connect. They don't have that ability to, the oxytocin that runs through our bodies and makes us connect with them when we have sex with them or we're intimate with them. All of those things are not happening in a man's physicality. So they are able to have multiple relationships and they don't even think much of it. A man having 20 women in his phone that he's talking to when he's dating you, he doesn't even think anything of it because it's so natural to him. So again, they have to be trained to be gentlemen. They have to be trained through church or spirituality or through other male mentors what it is to be monogamous. It's not the most natural state. They are capable of being monogamous, absolutely, but it's not something that comes naturally to them. That is not an excuse for them to cheat. It's not a reason for us to be okay with them cheating. It is just the truth about men, okay? Men marry and divorce on paper. What that means is when a woman marries a man, we marry men with our bodies and we divorce them with our bodies. So the day that you have sex with a guy, you marry him. You are linked to him in a marriage. The day that you stop sleeping, a woman stops sleeping with her husband, she's divorced. That's it. We pull back our bodies when we are breaking up with men. We stop having sex when we're ready to show them that we're no longer interested in having a relationship with them. We shut ourselves down. In a marriage, a woman stops wanting to have sex with her husband. That is how we divorce men. It is not true for men. A man is married to you when he signs on the dotted line, not when he sleeps to you, not when he promises to marry you, not when he makes a vow to marry you. He is married to you the day he signs on the dotted line. A man is divorced on the day he signs the dotted line. I don't care how many years he's been separated. If he hasn't signed on the dotted line, he is not divorced. He hasn't closed that chapter. Now, some people will say, well, yeah, he kind of is sleeping in separate rooms, blah, blah, blah. He is still committed to that woman. So don't engage or allow a relationship to get intimate unless he has signed on the dotted line, because for a man, that is a divorce. So, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative and that you're clearer. Now, like I said, you might not like what I said, but this is the truth about men. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and continue to join me on my next videos. In the meantime, take care of you.